BlackTop Radio. The BlackTop Radio. Mic check, mic check. You're now tuned in with Mike J. You know the host that do the most. How I feel when you got a rapper from the West Coast on the intro. So smooth. Now we can play the instrumental. BlackTop Radio, where you can come and get your fix. We be talking about your baby mamas or some politics. Fresh station out where you can tune and hear the hottest. Ain't no filters, you hear all of it. You ain't really popping yet if you ain't never been a guest. Wait, let me guess, you got on next. Got the airwaves on flex. Boom, BlackTop, what did you expect? BlackTop Radio. The BlackTop Radio. The BlackTop. BlackTop Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our BlackTop conversation.
Hey!
And tonight's conversation piece, I'd like to bring to the table, my dear friends, the topic of hip hop. You know, I saw somebody post a status, and he's a DJ. Mm-hmm. It wasn't worldwide, but he's a DJ down in Atlanta. And he posted a status and he said, you know, I'm just wondering if the music we listen to today, you know, versus how hip hop started. And even then, at that time, like over time, do you think hip hop has really credited us in good favor or in bad favor? So, you know, there's a couple answers that came out there, and there's a lot of mixed feelings out here. But I'm going to start with us here in the studio to see how we feel. So tonight's question is, did hip hop hurt or help the black community, in your opinion?
So it's two-sided, you know, because we can point to plenty of artists who have music. First of all, let's talk about black people, right?
Yeah, of course.
Our community. Music has been something that got us through like different things in our history, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Going back to slavery, you know, Negro spirituals, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Music has been a thing for us to get us through. So in the hip hop culture, even today, as watered down as it may be to a lot of people, there are good artists making good music that gives people hope and positivity.
Body, yaddy, yaddy, yaddy.
But on the flip side,
Hey.
on the flip side, I was talking to a lady at the store because we was some kid was playing his music loud in the parking lot, you know, and like the stuff they play on the radio. I'm talking about like regular radio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like the fact that, you know, like the songs, like you know, the Throat Baby and
Oh yeah.
like it's like this is a radio song,
Right.
and like
And the babies are listening
when
to
it first came out, it wasn't edited like it should be edited.
Right.
And then what's the other song that's out? That's I can't believe it was a radio song.
Talking about
WAP?
not WAP.
Not WAP, after WAP. It's something that's even worse than that. Like
What?
and I'm like,
What's in WAP right now?
Is it City Girls? Is it Pussy Talk?
all those songs.
All those things.
No, that body out. It's worse than that. But the thing is, these songs are
Playing on the radio.
playing on the radio. Like, if your daughter came home, you have a daughter?
I do too.
How old is your daughter?
17 and 11.
So your 11-year-old daughter came home singing Throat Baby. Throat Baby.
I'm a punch her in the throat.
In the throat, baby. like
I'm a punch her. My kids, I don't allow them to listen to certain things. Because right now there's no, like, they play any damn thing at this point. I don't let them listen to my sets when I am you know, doing comedy. And so there's just certain music that I don't let them listen to. So like in the car when we're riding around or whatever, nah, I'm not gonna tell y'all what I let them listen to, but it ain't nothing that's out right now.
in the WAP, they just came out with a new edit to that. because they were playing the part about the back
the back of the throat, the dang thing.
They
the back of my
took
throat.
that part out, and then they took out the part with the back in the truck into my
Little garage, Big Mac truck.
It took all them parts out, but when it first came out, you was hearing all of that.
All of that. Yes.
So you got your 11-year-old daughter in the car.
Talking about a Big Mac truck.
No, saying she wants some guy to touch the back, dingly thing in the back of her throat. Man, I would slap. That's why I don't got. I'm glad God you gave me a son. But think about that, like raising a kid in that type of atmosphere now.
Yeah.
With dealing with everything else we gotta deal with now.
So you feel like it's less creative now, hip hop?
No, it's very creative. It's too.
It's
more destructive. Vulgar.
It's
more
very
destructive,
vulgar.
like he's saying.
More destructive.
Because, even though we can find positivity in music out here, there's so much more that's highlighted.
They highlight those things that are
when they do the top five,
vulgar.
the drive at 5 when you go home.
Yeah.
All those songs vulgar, because these songs are voted on by the country. The top 5 songs in the country right now are straight trash. Like when it comes to like something you want your family to ride home and listen to.
No,
like
there are things that I won't listen to with my kids. I barely listen to by myself because some of it can have me clutching my pearls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, music is very important to me. Mm-hmm. It is basically my very first love. So, because I learned how to sing before I was doing anything else, right? Mm-hmm. And you know that the sound affects our body. Our bodies are more water than anything.
Correct.
And so those sound waves affect us in a lot of different ways. And so you have to pay attention to what you are listening to, because you don't know what vibration it's going to cause your body. It's going to turn some tumultuous inside of your body, or it's going to give you a place of peace. And so I would rather play things that is going to set the right vibration in myself and in my children so that they can be whole people. And when you do that, your children will start to push away those things that make them feel bad. Because my 14-year-old son, he don't like all the stuff that's out. There's certain things that he does like, but he's like, Mommy, I don't listen to that. Like, I can't listen to that. I don't feel good listening to that. Yeah. And so when you put them on a path like that, it allows them to choose, because they know what makes their vibrations feel good.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, because even as adults, like, I particularly don't listen to the radio because all you hearing is an instrumental. Every word is bleeped out or censored. All you hearing is the beat.
That's right.
So, I mean, and I say creativity because if, early hip hop and even, early R&B, they had a creative way of saying what we vulgarly say now.
That was vulgar then.
Well, right, but they didn't say pussy all on the radio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
it was
they were more creative about how they fixed it.
Right.
Yeah.
They interjected with words that could replace it. Now you can't do it no more.
Because it was so hard, because I remember being a teenager and my older cousin used to pick on me because he was like, "You don't even know what OPP stand for." And but you had to break it down. It wasn't that easy to figure out what they were talking about.
Yeah.
You know what OPP? And you like, what other people? You trying to figure it out.
Orleans Parish Prison.
Exactly. It could easily be disguised. Ain't nothing disguised no more.
So stupid.
Throat baby.
You know how old I was when I found out what I Need a Body Bag was in BBD song?
Oh.
I was like 21.
Wow.
I was like, oh, that's what it means. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, they left stuff to their imagination.
Correct.
But still, there was songs that back then that were really, really bad. But still, it wasn't the majority of it.
Well, it wasn't. Party songs and radio songs are different.
Yeah.
We didn't have too many vulgar radio songs.
Yeah.
There were songs floating around that we knew about or we played at school or after school and stuff like that. But the stuff they allow on the radio for
A free.
Go. Stuff they do now just to get spins and likes and streams is a whole nother level.
But it ain't just hip hop, because I done heard some Southern soul songs. You be like, what the?
Well, Southern soul, they get a pass. That's their roots.
Yeah.
sex is the roots of
Until you
Southern soul.
stand up in it.
Yeah, we can't stand up. But
Stand up in it.
being from the East End of Richmond, I see more of the negative in hip hop than the good, because of the culture that goes along with it.
Yeah.
So it's the way we dress, people being hard for no reason, the gun carrying, the people I went to school with. I was losing friends in high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I can look at people and tell you what they listen to
Yeah.
based off how they dress, how they talk. And it's a shooter's age now. Nobody fighting no more. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
too scared to
the
fight.
music
When
is the same way.
I was growing up, and still to this day, there was the dudes that lived like in the suburbs that came into the hood and
Acting
stuff.
hood.
Yeah, trying to act a hood, and those were the ones who was the shooters. So they would get those dudes out the suburbs who was green to do the dirty work, so that they could, pretend that they was hard or whatever, and try to, but that left the dirt on their hands. I think that they get influenced by the music in that way. Like, I'm hard, I'm this, I'm that. I'm like, your mama drive a Mercedes, your dad,
Women
your
the same
doctor.
way.
Why you
The
doing
ratchet
that?
girls be
Like,
from the county. The ratchet, like, you not even. What?
Clarence had real
You
good
from
parents.
Verona? Stop it! Stop it! You from Verona? Stop it! You hanging out? You hanging out
my
with the
sister
Armstrong
live in
girls?
Verona.
Hanging out with the Armstrong girls, acting like you not from around there. Stop playing. You got cows 3 blocks from your house. Stop playing with me.
Right. I remember when I first moved up north, and I went to these people's houses, and now they become friends or whatever. But they would be like, "Yeah," the young dudes was like, "Yeah, this my hood, this my block," and I'm like, "Bruh, there are horses literally in your backyard." Like, they was repping all these sets. I'm like, "What
culture.
sets?
Sets of stables.
What
sets
sets?"
of stables.
Exactly. Like, dude. Who
He said stables. Sets and stables.
I'm banging these 60 acres my grandparents gave me. I'm banging on them.
Right. And I was like, I was befuddled. Like, I'm sitting there, like, I'm so confused. They got they were getting the tattoos. They were doing all this stuff, and I'm like, it have to be the music. It has to be,
gotta be.
because
You living that life.
I just walked out on your grandmother's porch, bro. Y'all got acres of good wood. This is oak. Y'all could be selling this. But they want me in this shit, like for real.
Our culture is being manipulated. Let's be honest. To a certain extent, it's being manipulated. All right, so I sat down and asked my question, like, to myself, like, yo, why are there no Metro Boomins for gospel? You know what I'm saying? Why all these really producers that are like really turned all the way up? You love hearing them 808s. Why we don't have that for the good side of music?
We do.
I mean, Kirk then put out some smash,
I'm not
some
talking about
bangers.
Cook. You don't. I listen to gospel rap.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's artists out there.
Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
They got some good stuff out there, like the hype up
They
music
just don't
that
get
me and
that
my
money.
They don't get
So-
that shine.
If they don't get that exposure.
This how the difference is. Let me tell you, because I got personal friends who are gurus in the music when it comes to gospel. So
and it's just as grimy too.
The industry.
so the money is like, when it comes to being vulgar to gospel, is like equivalent to the WNBA.
WNBA and the NBA.
NBA.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
There's some ballers in the WNBA, bro.
Yes.
But the fact that the highest paid NBA player WNBA player making $2 million, and there's guys who never played the whole season that make more than that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So people just decide to go this route because there's more money in it.
Yeah.
Like when you in gospel, you really have to have a love for the
craft.
First of all, for God.
For God, yeah,
And then the
yeah.
craft. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're in it for money, you're going to be hurt.
Yeah.
You're going to be hurt.
Absolutely.
Come
know what
on
I'm saying?
through.
But
Come on, preach, pastor.
But there's some good artists
On
You know what
that
I'm saying?
side.
Good music producers.
Yeah.
It's just they're not getting no shine. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get the glamour, the money.
Yeah.
They got their own award shows and all that stuff too. It's
Yeah.
just nobody watch it. You know what I'm saying? It
No,
just
there's no room for conscious people, conscious artists now.
Oh
you
man,
know, as
I'm
far as
about to put you on to some
mainstream.
good. I'm about to put you on to some good gospel artists, like for real, like gospel rappers. My son and me and my husband, like, my husband is a minister.
Forgot about him that
Oh
quick.
my goodness.
Matt Barnes,
Well.
come get her. I done told you.
That's a hell of a first lady, boy. That's a hell of a first lady.
well, that's usually how it goes. You know,
I don't
the
even like
preachers
that.
be up there with that crazy background. Like, you know, our first lady used to be a stripper. She was
man.
a Marine. She, you know, she got a good kickball game on her. Like, she just got a very diverse background. Like, what the?
She ain't gonna get no chance to tell her own testimony. My God.
She give you a part of the testimony.
I used to play flag football.
Try to give you the best parts about what Nanny he done told about my daddy rabbit days. I also make hand baskets.
I'm telling you, it's like. But it's crazy because, like, okay, so you know you are a community activist, and I am too. And music is like counterproductive a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I throw community events, I do a national night out event at a park, and I'm a DJ, so I play music, you know, free music, food, everything. But you even have to set the vibe right because
Yep.
Yeah.
when you bring the community together, right? Pookie coming out there,
Yep.
you got Ray and them.
Yep.
So I got to make sure we even line dancing, because if the wrong artists come on,
You right.
this community event is down. I'm talking about before even any word come out, the beat just dropped.
Yep.
And it's a whole different vibe.
Hoes in this house.
Like I gotta create my own folder for that community event because I know my community. You know what I'm saying? I've been there my whole life, so it's like we not playing no Boosie, we not playing no Jeezy, we not playing no Pastor Troy.
You can't even play.
Come on
You can't
now.
even play Chris Brown.
Did
Like,
he just say Pastor Troy?
I can't do it.
Pastor Troy. Oh. Come on.
P.
You need to play some Pastor Troy right now.
you a DSGB fan? The old school Pastor Troy be had the group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Pastor Troy. I love vice versa.
I can't play no 3-6. I can't play none of that stuff.
Nope.
Because
You know what he can do.
yeah. So, but we talking about the music, the bad effects of it.
Right,
Like
right.
there's I gotta play music that get everybody excited. I gotta play Frankie Beverly. Everybody gonna be ready to go get them a hot dog, and
Yeah.
Come
you know
on
what I'm
now.
saying.
Yeah.
That's why we gotta keep that, cause so they are good music. It's good music out there.
Yeah.
Even hip hop, I could find some good tracks to play. But I gotta be. It's hard. I gotta be in hip hop folder. I gotta be like, nope,
Yeah.
nope. This blend real good with this song, but nope, can't play that. Nope.
So how would y'all? Cause y'all have kids. How would you feel now if your child, and you know some of y'all got young kids but if your child came up to you and said, I want to be a hip hop artist, like what would be your general feeling, knowing what we know and what we've already said about hip hop today? Would you really support it?
If one of my children said they wanted to be a hip hop artist, I would support them because I know what's in their head, and they understand the ramifications of their words towards certain people. You know, like we listen to Jaden Smith and stuff, Sire and stuff. Like we listen
Positive.
to,
He's
yeah,
nice.
Good guy.
they understand lyrics,
Yeah.
and so they are responsible. If I had a child that wasn't responsible, I would probably try to, push them off to something else. But I think my children so green, they gonna be rapping about.
Will Smith, I hear no cuss words.
Yeah, they gonna be up in there
Still
talking
going
about,
platinum.
Right.
them planting the doggone bell peppers and us chopping up the bell peppers, eating them with the ranch,
Hey,
chopping up the bell peppers, eating with them, something like that, because that's what I've nursed into them. That's what I've put into them. I have lots of conversation about music with my kids. I like for them to listen to something. If we listening, I want to hear what they think it means.
Correct.
So I have plenty of conversation with them, from movies to music to all the things that they see on social media and stuff like that. Like I'm really, really close with my kids.
But both of you guys can definitely relate. I feel like some of my favorite comedians, old, like growing up, and now, like, are clean comics. You know what I'm saying? Like Cedric Entertainer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
like even Country Wayne, he don't cuss. You know what I'm saying? He makes it a point just to. He have topics, but he don't. I'm just saying, but you can get your point across
without it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
That's cool. Yeah, cuss. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm saying wrong with it.
I'm
I wear my
sorry.
shirt, Mike cuss. You know what I'm saying? But I'm
Like
just
a
saying
sailor.
there are comics that can get their point across and be creative.
I do both.
Without
I will
it,
say
yeah.
I do both.
Well, if you do so much, you have to do both because you know you doing corporate stuff and then you doing But I just people even in the music industry, like we have people coming here and we tell them we're going to have a clean copy of your music. If you're real about your music, you want to get on the radio, you gotta have a
Absolutely.
clean version.
Yeah.
So I know you're not taking this thing that serious if you don't even have no clean version of your music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're not trying to go that far.
Yeah.
And so with the music, I feel like the radio is even giving them a little like loosen the leash up. Like you ain't gotta be but so
Clean.
it's clean, but you can still be. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's just like television.
yeah. Oh
They
my
used to
God.
not
Oh,
be able
man,
to say
what?
certain things
Yeah,
on
TV
TV,
is
and
whoa,
now
a
TV
whole
is
different
just,
level.
Yeah.
Butt cheeks, all that shit on
Yeah.
TV.
I was.
That shit is amazing.
When we was going, everything had like the little blur thing on it, and everything was shit.
Listen, we used to, if we saw somebody in the bed together, it was like, wow.
That was like porn. And
Exactly.
HBO at late at night, the sex scenes weren't even real sex scenes. You felt like you was watching sex though. You was like, oh my god,
They be hunching.
they humping, they on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like,
They doing
you don't see
something.
nobody. You see all they see their shoulders.
It's sweat.
And you felt like you
Shoulders and
felt
sweat.
like you was watching
Yeah.
porn. Now, shit.
Titties, nipples.
It's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. What's a good party if there are no drinks? Better yet, imagine turning up and not having to pour your old troubles for once. Or better yet, someone else's. Now that may be a big of a problem. Well, Bougie Bartender is a licensed and certified mobile bartending service that services any event, big or small, such as bridal showers, weddings, baby showers, corporate parties, and so much more. She also specializes in making virgin or non-alcoholic beverages for minors as well. If you need a bartender for your next event, call 804-855-8787. Again, that's 804-855-8787. And also check her out on Instagram at bougiebartender_Brooke. That's bougiebartender_BROOK. Shout out to Bougie Bartending, proud sponsor of the wildest radio show on the net, the BlackTop. Cheers.
Watching like Power and all that stuff like that now.
Oh,
it's
that's
like,
all porn.
It's like, whoa, we was growing up, we ain't had this.
It's not just Power. It's even all the other stuff
It's
too.
everything.
It's
You can go World Star.
everything.
Yeah.
Megan just dropped a video today. Ass everywhere. Everywhere.
MTV
It
is
is
crazy.
a lot of ass, and it do be everywhere.
Everywhere. I don't understand how people sign up for OnlyFans when all you got to do is look at your Instagram long enough and you basically got everything
Because
that you
they
want
want
from
to
it.
see feet, and they want to see my ashy feet, babe. Okay,
I'm about to do a
Understood.
video tonight.
Understood.
listen.
It's gonna sound like soon as I come on. But that money gonna sound like cha-ching, cha-ching.
Are they balling the paper? What is that?
She had a whole bunch of little dried up skin on the bottom.
Oh,
on the bed.
Oh no!
The flakes on the bottom of the bed. Baby, what's going on down here?
Scraping shit off the bottom of your feet. This my prep. Let me prep for this.
I wasn't ready for that one.
Somebody put talcum powder in the damn bed. Can you believe it? The damn kids, god damn it. right, so
Y'all are foolish. See?
last thought of this is someone said that hip hop is actually beneficial because it's providing a way out for people who feel like they're trapped.
I hate
AKA
that.
Sometimes that don't get you trapped.
But
I
we
hate
can say that for football players.
Yeah.
There's a way out. There's a way out for basketball.
I don't agree
There's a
with
way-
that.
I hate that now though. We so past that.
Yeah.
Like, cause like we grew up on Biggie, and he was saying, you know, that's all we had was rap and basketball. I feel like we so past that now.
Yeah, we are.
Like after you got a black president, like we are super past
No.
that. Like,
I ain't even lie. Rap don't mean necessarily you on the way out anyway. When you're dying on camera, like it's nothing from another rap
Right.
artist.
correct.
Right. I don't agree with you when you talk about having a black president.
As far as
and
being motivated to be like you can make it,
they.
I feel privileged to say that my son was born into a country with a black president, because we something we were never born. We were all born into this world with a white leader of the free world. And for my son's 4, so when he was born,
Obama was
Obama was the president. You see what I'm saying? And so
He was at the very end.
it don't matter. He was there. And what I'm saying is, historically, when my son was born, I could tell him, even though he couldn't understand what I'm saying, I could point at the TV and say,
that was your president.
you can do whatever you want to do or become whoever you want to be. Our parents couldn't look at us and tell us that and feel it for real. They might have told us that,
But it ain't real.
it wasn't a reality to them, and they didn't see black people in certain positions in this country. Fast forward 34, 40 years later, we can say that. You know what I'm saying? You got black NBA owners. You know what I'm saying?
How you go from 34 to 40?
No, I'm talking about if we're talking to a little kid.
Check it out.
So I'm just saying whatever age you is. So we all different ages.
I'm just
Oh,
messing.
okay.
I'm the old guy
I'm
in the
just
room.
messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
I think Shane, you the baby in here?
No, I'm the youngest.
You the youngest?
Yeah.
For real? Okay, so Mike, Shane, and me. Okay, sweet. So yeah, it's so much. I still feel like we got a long way to go,
We have a whole long way to go.
but
We
Light
didn't even
years.
start yet.
I feel, but listening to the stories of my great grandmother before she passed, she from Florence, South Carolina,
Oh,
and they ain't own shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to where we at now, I'm talking about business owners. I can literally eat out every day without touching a white-owned restaurant. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I can
shout out
shop
to the
on
Virginia Black Business
correct.
Directory.
I can shop online without touching. I can be amongst my people and feel like we going somewhere. 20 years ago, I can't say that. 30 years ago, I definitely couldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? And so, music shouldn't be our thing to get out. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna rap, I'm gonna play basketball. Like,
Make
we can,
millions and get out of here.
bro. There's so much stuff you can do now.
Yeah.
I think you are correct that music should not be our way out. I think that we should be owning more. We should be owning
to
their
'em.
companies. We should be having our own record companies. We should be all Master P's doing all this stuff. We could take over, but too many of us are still enslaved mentally that we don't get doing our own thing, and we don't have support for it. When I left that job, making that money, my mom was so upset with me. Now she knows I've been performing and been on stage since I was a kid. She brought me to all my shows. I couldn't drive. You know what I'm saying? She knows that I've been doing this for a long time, but when she could not put a finger on my daughter works at X, Y, and Z, it was scary to her.
Right.
You know, because I stepped out and I had to do something and I did something different. But for her, it was totally mind-boggling.
It's a whole new world.
She was like, "You do so well doing such," and you know, it's like a pride for her to say, my daughter worked for the Secretary of Defense and things like that.
Correct.
And now she be like, yeah, my daughter taking shows at people
Welcome to my
backyards.
world.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yep.
Well,
Like,
Yep.
I feel like because everything we've been taught is to keep us in the system. You know?
Yes.
And so I've always been kind of like, what's it when you trying to always go against the grain, like a rebellious type. You know what I'm saying?
Sandpaper.
And so, like all our life, we've been taught to work a 9 to 5,
Yes.
Monday through Friday, and then get 2 days of rest.
Yep.
And I spent the last 3 to 4 years of my life creating the life that the opposite.
Yeah.
I said I'm going to work my ass off for 2 days, and I'm going to rest for 5.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on
And
through.
I created that. This is pre-pandemic. I created this lifestyle and world based off the opposite of what we were taught.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And people looked at me like, "What's going on? Like, what are you doing with your life?" And my bills are
People
paid.
treat you like you're a bum.
My bills are paid.
Yep.
I let my wife take a hiatus. You know what I'm saying? She said she was stressed for work. Working 2 days a week, I was able to let my wife take a year off of work. You know what I'm saying?
Through.
Working 2 days a week
Come through.
because I created a life that was different from what we were taught.
Yeah.
And I was doing what I love. I'm DJing. I'm partying. I'm doing weddings on the weekend.
Yeah.
And Monday through Thursday, I'm sitting there watching ESPN and FS1. You know what I'm saying? And people like, what are you doing?
Chilling.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Listen, it's
What
a
you mean?
piece of,
I feel like
it's a
Nothing.
peace of mind. It's a peace of mind, and it's de-stresses you. You're like,
Correct.
listen, when I was working up in that daggone office, people would die,
Correct.
and then the next day there was somebody.
They box your desk up, and somebody else will be sitting with a new
Somebody
name
was
tag.
immediately, and I was like, why in the hell am I stressing myself out like this? I was going to work crying.
Sitting in the parking
I
lot,
would,
staring at the building.
Sitting in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I used to go for breakfast. Now I would go to breakfast, eat. By the time I got back to my desk, it was time for me to go to lunch. I would take 3-4 hour lunches. By the time I was done with lunch, and the day was over,
Correct.
I was in such pain,
Yeah.
and I could not be a good wife. I was not being a good mother. I couldn't be a good mate, like for anything. And when
That's
I was
stress, man.
Sitting up in that bathroom stall, pretending like you
when
use
I
the
called that
bathroom.
boy and I said, I think this is my way out, God has provided every since. My husband has been able to provide for the family ever since. And then, with me, with the entertainment, listen, all I'm saying is, in a little bit, I'm going to be able to do what I've been praying for. And that's to retire my husband so that he don't have to work no more, because he's been working since he was 13.
Ooh.
Because he had to.
Hey, salute you, big dog. I think a lot of times we say the words work smarter and not harder, but we don't act on it. And everything that he just touched on is really working smarter, not harder.
Yep.
I've been in many of arguments with people where, okay, one thing I did have to learn, I've always had a mentality of a person who needs to be an entrepreneur. That happens before you ever fill out paperwork. It's already in your mind state. It happens long time ago. Somewhere you said it in yourself. So within that being said, a lot of people are not going to be like that. And it sucks when you want them to have that mentality for themselves and they don't. Some people are comfortable with just being the worker ant.
Right.
You know,
And when Chosen was here, Chosen was like, we need those people too, so they can work for us.
that is a fact. I think that's something that I had a hard time realizing, because I wanted all my friends. We all friends. We all need to run the show. We all need to, you know. And I never realized, hey, yo, sooner or later your friends gonna be able to need you for something, and you can benefit off of that.
Right.
You know, so. I had a whole big hard time seeing that. Now what I am seeing is we are starting to get a wave of entrepreneurship happening within the culture. I just hope that we can find direction with it. I hope we can find consistency. I hope that people double down on what they are doing and don't just give it up 2 weeks from now. Don't give it up when you feel like the road is harder than sitting in that 6-figure job, because you're making somebody else richer. It don't matter what you make, somebody else taking a vacation off
And
your
they
ass
don't even give a fuck about you
at all.
at the end of the day.
So let's put this in perspective, yo. We are sitting in a black-owned radio broadcast, right? This building is so special. Like, I love this building. Like, if you walk down the hall, it's nothing but black businesses. Like, and so like this is like in a smaller realm, like a Black Wall Street, right? In this building, we have a black-owned cycling studio, spin class, our cycle. We got the dentist joint, the petite lady, right? Petite.
The other studio.
And then we got the CEO, the event hall lady. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got the nail shop.
The nail shop. We got two music recording studios.
So high.
Like, it's all black-owned businesses, and I feel like what happens when you around people of like mind. Because a lot of times when you start a business, especially in the 90s or the early 2000s, you will be opening a business surrounded by white businesses. But to be able to open businesses on the same block or in the same community with a whole bunch of other black businesses,
it feels more special.
It feels good, and nobody's blocking or hating on each other. It's like we literally can utilize the same strip of customers and community of consumers.
Pass one along.
And but we need this building though. You see what I'm saying? And I feel like
we need a community.
We need more of that. Like, I remember when Virginia's in the Commons started falling apart, and it was literally the right wing. When you put the left, when you walk in, the left side of the food court, all those stores, like 30 stores, was closed. And I told her about it. I was like, yo, if we had 30 black businesses come in and get that whole left side of the mall,
turn them all out.
Like, but we don't have that. We don't have that.
So myself and my husband are directors on the Virginia Black Business Directory, and what our purpose is to make sure that we have a spot to go to make sure that black businesses are connecting and that we can find a black business for anything. Correct. So it doesn't matter. We have florists, we have artists, we have doctors, lawyers. I mean, everything is inside of this directory, and we want to expand. But there's so many different black directories around.
Correct. Richmond got one.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
little shade.
Because there is also division.
Correct.
Because people competing for. Like,
the black dollar.
Yeah. And you don't have to compete for the black dollar because we spend it. We spend a lot
World's
of money.
biggest consumers.
In the county that I live in, black people actually make more than white people in our county. Our household incomes are much more. And my husband is oh goodness, I can't tell. But I know these facts, and I know all this information, and it's really good information to have to know that the community. So I started what's called the BLACC, that's Building Love and Close Connections, and my goal was to connect this black business to this black business. So this person need their walls done, they need painting, you need to use this black business. You are a black restaurant and this is a distributor, you need to use that black business. Correct. And do all those connections. And then the VABBD came out of that.
Okay.
From what I created as the village, so that everybody can connect and everybody can be talking, because we are so, separated in small cities and small towns. People don't know who's who and what's what. Mm-hmm. So black comes specifically for smaller areas, so that the black people can connect better, because y'all have great connections because y'all in the city, and that city's setting allows you to do X, Y, and Z. They're not doing it up in the
more easy to network.
Yeah, and we don't have that where I live at, but we have it now, and we are getting a lot of things done, and a lot of things changed.
Man, if you're watching this video and you got a black business, this is what a lot of people do. A lot of people don't want to invest in time into getting into these type of networks, or like what you call it, the search engine, you know, because I know people be like, well, we got a directory for you, and people be like, well, only thing you gotta do is put your information in here, and we'll get you in the directory. And they don't want to do that. Like, it feel like
It's lazy.
It's like you're this close to getting more of a network. You know what I'm saying? Like, people just put up an Instagram page, go get an EIN number, and feel like they like,
I'm a business now,
bro. Like you.
But then it be MLM. Those multi-level.
And then you like, nobody's supporting me. Nobody's out here. Like, but you're not doing the necessary steps. There's easy, small steps to get yourself out there. You
right.
know? And we way off subject because we're talking about music's impact on.
It kind of ties.
It still ties into it.
But it's
because there's more than one way to get out.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? As long as you do it the right way.
Music is not influencing people to go out and become business owners. They're influencing these young people to just go out talking about getting money, but they're not saying how.
Well, it depends on who you listen to. Like I said, it's a select few. Like Jay-Z now would talk about flipping real estate now. You know, because Jay-Z has grown.
He had to grow.
When Jay-Z first came out, he wasn't talking about that.
No.
But now Jay-Z talking about flipping real estate. You know, he talking about his life. He's owned a basketball team. You know, different things. But
you starting to see a little bit of like 21 Savage.
Yeah,
he's
changing
teaching kids how to
You
save
see-
money and
Do y'all see what's happening to that NLE Chapo kid?
yes.
yeah.
You see what's happening to him slowly? You know, it was a whole bunch of like
Waking up.
drill scene-ish. Then it's slowly, you know, he's really evolving. But it's happening.
But
it's becoming the wave.
But
And
it's separating him. It's separating him in a good way.
yeah.
But it's also the industry that tries to keep them
In that lane.
in that way. Yeah, they want the artists to continue to spew the things that are going to mess up the minds.
up.
Who are the two
of,
artists that talked about
you know,
that recently in the
and
video?
that's consistent. So in their contracts, the contracts that these young people are signing, they don't read the contracts and they don't understand. Basically it says you need to put out a trash album over and over and over. You cannot talk about uplifting. You cannot talk about movement. You cannot talk about, and they really.
You seen that video?
They keep them stuck to a certain lane.
Who is that? Was that Busy Bone or somebody?
And
You
they
was talking
have
about
to.
how they
went in the room. They went there.
companies made deals with the prisons or something like that.
With that
Hey,
too.
I think we had a conversation about
Yeah,
that.
they had a meeting with all the art, big name execs and a lot of the big name artists, and it was like, we want y'all to push this image, and if you don't,
We shelving
We
that
go-
ass.
yeah.
you gotta
We
leave.
shelving you,
You
we
got,
slaving
basically
you.
like you leaving the room and you can't get, you gonna be not getting no money.
Basically,
And
that's what they do.
I forgot who
Check-
they
check-
just came out
check
with a
this
video
out.
like a
Contracts,
few
those
months ago.
contracts are written so intricately, in such a way that
And they was threatening the dudes, like basically like,
if
can
you
end
if you
bad.
go conscious,
Yeah.
we gonna end you and your family.
Yeah,
That's
Check this.
crazy.
What is the number one, the very first North American business? Business that happened here in North America. Does anybody know?
What?
It was a Shirley Plantation right in Valverano, right?
Okay.
The second number one business was a music company.
You are watching a master.
They're based off of the same principles. They're structured a lot the same way. The second company to ever hit the U.S. is a music company,
Just-
right behind the plantation.
Just like sports,
all structured the
all
same way.
structured the same way.
How can we
be
think that music?
That draft,
Got you a big buck.
that draft. I tell people all the time when I watch the draft, bro.
I hate
the
it.
slave trade. I swear to
I
God,
hate it.
they got you up that joint. Oh, he's strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants to get this one?
Look at
I
his.
think Charlotte wants him. You know, like it's like,
Look
oh
at
my
his
God.
massive
Look at-
reach.
Look at boxing and then look at the movie Django when they had them two black guys and
Oh,
they let
yeah,
them fight each
yeah.
other for entertainment.
Yeah, that's
For massa.
crazy. That's a real story. That's real stuff they did though.
That's a fact.
Yeah, there was
'cause it's
another
shit.
movie that I was just watching with the little boys fighting in the ring. And they had them, and it was like, oh, the story of
Nate Robinson. I'm joking.
He said, "Little boys."
Lifetime presents Nate Robinson. Down he goes.
Oh God, have mercy.
Hey, this is a little boy.
He was out. Night night, nigga. Night night. Godfather of Soul, James Brown, his movie, the story about his life, had them up in a ring fighting for white people's entertainment.
Strictly entertainment.
It's always everything
That's what it's about.
they want us to entertain them.
Well, because we were animals, so same way they do cockfighting with the with the chickens and stuff.
But they care more about the chickens and the dogs.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
We were animals, like the same thing. Put them in there. We can drink, smoke, watch them fight.
They use our desperation for money
Correct.
to push their message
Yeah.
back to us, and then they use
That's still
the
going on.
desperation for their attention
Ain't
to
shit
get their
changed.
dollar back.
Yep.
Ain't shit changed.
Every year, anything that you see that has to do with entertainment takes it up one notch.
Yeah.
One more notch. It's a little bit more crazier. You used to have to wait till Uncut come on to see some Megan Thee Stallion shit that you see right now
Right
at
now.
any given time.
All the time.
Based like what you were saying, don't show no consciousness, right? So regardless of your skill level, so that's how you did Kaepernick. If they want to cut you out, they all agree. All the owners came together. All of them are white except for one,
The elitists.
and they said he not playing no more.
Yep.
Cause there's no way this guy is better than half the quarterback starting right now, and nobody pick him up.
Yep,
They
yep.
came together and said he doing too much.
Yeah.
He out.
We don't have any more. Well, we do now. They're starting to make their way back to the light. But like the Muhammad Ali's, the Sidney Poitiers, and who used to fight for their
Correct,
causes and for black people, and
The NBA doing a good job.
We got Braun.
Yeah, but I say
Braun put on.
Listen,
Yeah.
I love LeBron James. I think that if I met him, I don't know. He's probably somebody that I would cry.
Bye-bye, Marlon.
Not cry.
He said bye bye Marlon.
Not cry over him, but like cry because
Everything he's done.
everything that he's done, and he is a stand-up dude.
Absolutely.
I'm like, I don't.
He could run
I
for
don't.
president.
I like him more as a activist than an athlete.
Absolutely. Same here.
I'm sorry to say that.
Hey, shut your mouth.
That's his
Sorry to
brand.
say that.
Don't
That's his brand more than the athlete.
Don't you say nothing about LeBron James. Okay.
That's
LeBron.
That's his brand. His brand is more than the athlete.
I follow him at every team. Every team.
Oh,
I'm a
yeah.
LeBron
You got to.
James
Oh,
fan.
no. Me too.
I'm a LeBron
I'm a Bulls
James
fan, but I love LeBron, man.
I had always been a Heat fan. My part of my family is from Miami. And so when he went there, I was like,
Oh,
and he's changed. Like, he is showing people that if they want you financially, they go do what it takes to make you happy.
and you can still speak the way you want to speak.
Still speak
Yeah,
exactly.
because that's,
What Kanye say?
that's what
They
Jordan.
gave LeBron a Billy not to run away Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that in the song. They don't play
But
no
there was-
games.
People used to criticize Jordan because he never spoke out on these type of things. But Jordan was worried about that dollar. He didn't want to
Yeah.
affect his money.
Yeah.
And now the players are showing they have more power if they come together. Now
Yes.
Bron out here like, look, I'm still gonna be out here like this. I'm still gonna wear my all black warm ups on. I'm still gonna come out. We gonna promote equality.
Yep.
And you still gonna pay me.
And now Michael Jordan doing more.
Well,
Yeah.
now he can.
Yeah,
you got to.
Yeah,
I'm
now,
like, you
put that pressure on.
Okay, now you're gonna do something,
got to.
Michael.
He slapped a couple of clinics up in North Carolina
Because
and
they
different
talked
stuff.
about it in his
And that
documentary.
Last
Yeah.
So it was like as soon as that documentary came out, Michael Jordan spent $100,000. He got to because they talked about that jump,
Yeah.
but you won't doing nothing for us, bro.
And he wasn't
They
even
threw that Last Dance documentary out at the most convenient time. Like nobody was thinking about Mike when that Last Dance came out. When nobody think about Mike, we was worried or more focused on about A, the Kobe situation, B, LeBron being an activist, being the forefront, and the reporter telling him to shut up and dribble. You know, when he went through that, black people had his back immediately 110%. like What you mean shut up and dribble? Hold on for a second. I ain't even a LeBron fan, but let me holler at this little white lady for a second. Yeah. So once we back there, you started to see Jordan start pushing more and more of himself back into the hero narrative.
Yeah.
It was never, well, you known for gambling and smoking cigars and putting hits out on people, for real. Let's just be real.
For real.
Thank you so much for watching our video. Now, if you don't mind, can you do us one more favor? Hit that subscribe button and also tap that bell notification. That way you're alerted about all of our live content, our live episodes, behind the scenes information, also live interviews with some of your favorite guests, and plus many more right here on BlackTop TV. Also, if you need more information about the show, follow us on Instagram, the BlackTop. That's DABLACKTOP, and you know me. Ha! I'm a poet, ain't even know it. I rhyme all the time. And that's about it.